Wake up, Washington Commanders Nation. We are now 1 week, 7 sleeps, and an afternoon slate of games away from Washington's season opener against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's ramble about Washington.
This video is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino.
It's the first of the month, Washington Commanders Nation. We are now 1 week away from week 1 of the NFL, Washington's season opener against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 4:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going through a bit of football withdrawals right now.
Is this a 5 o'clock free crack giveaway?
I am jonesing, I'm itching, scratching, and fiending to see some Washington Commanders football and to see the NFL in general. We're only 4 days away from the NFL opening game. Kansas City, Baltimore, AFC Championship rematch. We're getting our first Friday NFL game. We're getting a Peacock original with the Green Bay Packers and Philadelphia Eagles on Friday. So we're getting football Thursday and Friday, not to mention a full slate of college games on Saturday. And then Sunday, we got to wait till 4:25. We get to do the red zone thing. I'm going to be live on the channel so you can come kick it with your boy. But I'm ready to see us, man. College just don't hit like the league, man. I watched college football all day today. See, I enjoy the hell out of college football because I can watch it so impartially, so non-biased. I don't have a college team. Didn't finish my degree, and I never grew up rooting for a specific college football program. I always watched college for individuals, for players, for coaches. I never had a team. I never latched on to a fandom for any college team specifically. I always want the local teams, Tech, Maryland, UVA, even like ODU, etc. But college, I enjoy it, but I'm mostly watching it for prospects. This slate of college games, as good as college football is, it just didn't hit to me like the NFL is going to hit like Ronald Reagan cocaine next week. When it's a full slate of football, we get to kick our feet up at 1 o'clock. And at 4:25, it's fucking going down. I cannot wait. But I decided for this one to start the month. Let's go old school. Let's do a rambling about Washington podcast style episode where we're just going to work our way into what is taking place in week 1 for the Washington Commanders and what I'm doing on the channel for the week. I'll be starting my week off with this video right here, and then I'll be hopping on Juan Gotti's channel. Shout out to Juan Gotti Talking Sports, by the way. We got to get that boy to 10K sometime this season. I'll be on Juan Gotti's channel going live tonight. Monday, I'm trying to work out a time right now. I'm trying to crunch everybody's schedule to see what time we can get it done. My NFC East roundtable with Nikki Gist, my boy Chip Keegi, and my guy DMV Fanatic, so we can move around the division. We could talk some shit and we can get that NFC East camaraderie going, reunite the family right before games start and hatred begins. You know, this is the last week where we could talk like civil adults. But what is on the docket on the channel today? You know what we're most excited to see. You know who we are most excited to see. That 2012 feeling is hitting again. Remember in 2012 how it felt going into that season with RG3? We were treating RG3 like he was the fucking president. He was the most popular person in the DMV. We got our quarterback. Well, it's that feeling again in 2024, but the feeling's a little different this time. We have an ecosystem and a foundation that is being created around this quarterback, so he does not necessarily have to be Superman to survive in this league. RG3, say whatever you want about him. We all enjoyed 2012. I know personally he had a lot of accountability to take in why it didn't work out here, but he had to put a cape on his back because it was a very putrid roster, offensive line, and weapons at his disposal. So he kind of had to wear a cape for the team every week. While Jaden Daniels is immensely talented, and Ask Robert himself. He'll tell you Jaden Daniels is better than I was coming out. He said it on multiple occasions. If you haven't seen their new Heisman House commercial, make sure you check that out as well. But we are all excited to see what number 5 is going to look like. And preseason, they didn't show us anything, and that was by design. That was intentional. They didn't want to show us anything. They didn't have to show us anything in exhibition games that don't matter. So before all the pie chart graph analytics nerds sit there and say Cliff Kingsbury is doing the same thing, and before fans like me and fans like you sit here and say the secondary is absolute dog water, let's give the team to go out. Let's give them a chance to go out with a clean slate. Let's wipe all of our past traumas for all of the ineptitude that predates the people in the building now. Let's not rain that on the guys in the building, even guys that have sucked in years prior. And we're going to get to that later in the episode, but I'm just excited to talk about some ball, man. We're talking about football. No scandals, no off-season nonsense. The closest we got to that this off-season was pursuing a player, or a player pursuing us or using us as a negotiation tactic. And he got the contract that he desperately sought from the San Francisco 49ers. That player is Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk signed his 4-year contract for $120 million, $30 million per to stay with the San Francisco 49ers, so we can dead that conversation. Funny timing about that is it happened hours after I told y'all we weren't getting Brandon Ayuk in 2024. But I held out hope for 2025. That ship has now sailed. Let's talk about the guys that are currently on the roster here in DC. We're just locked in on what matters. The players, the coaches, the front office, the ownership group, the fans, nothing extra, no extracurricular bullshit anymore, y'all. And we're facing a very good football team to start the season. A rejuvenated Baker Mayfield who has he fought for his life. He was this close to being a career journeyman in the league. He was about to start getting passed around the league like a Kardashian, and he found a home as the successor to an already built football team called the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know, the team that won the Super Bowl back in the COVID year with the GOAT Tom Brady. A team with still 2,000-yard receivers on it currently, and a very good defensive coordinator that Washington fans should know well because he used to play for this organization, Todd Bowles, who had some good words to say about the Commanders organization. It's a lot of coach speak, but he respects what's going on here, and he's not stupid. He can see how different things are going here in Washington. Someone asked him, I believe yesterday, he said, obviously the quarterback they drafted number 1, outstanding arm, very accurate, throws a great deep ball, knows when to get rid of the ball, can run as well. Obviously, Terry McLaurin is another threat. They've got a slew of players. They've got a very good coaching staff, and I know they will be ready to play. All good words, a lot of coach speak. They know who we are. We know who they are. No. Subtract that statement, retract it, throw it away. We know who they are. We get to come in with the element of surprise. We are an enigma. We are one of the couple teams in this league that nobody should have a read on coming into week 1. They have not seen the real offense yet. We have not seen our real defense yet. We don't know who the fuck the 2024 Commanders are. We have like 30 new players, 13 new starters. I have no idea what this team looks like in 2024. So there should be no extremes on the positive or negative side right now because none of us know what this team looks like, but we should be excited. You should be anxiously anticipating the season. I see people ready to fucking quit on Adam Peters and throw him away because he let KJ Henry walk, or because we didn't put in a claim for Tim Patrick coming off a ruptured Achilles and a torn ACL in consecutive seasons. We need to fucking relax. We need to take a chill pill, and we need to let Adam Peters cook this shit up because we aren't familiar with what it looks like to build a team the right way and the healthy way. We just don't. It has been quite a long time. And the people that actually got to see the organization do that, they may be too old to tell us about what that looked like. And it's been so long since they've seen it, but we're getting back to it. The team gets back to practice on Monday afternoon to start game prep for week 1. I imagine we're going to get our first official, not unofficial, our first official depth chart of 2024, where we will see where players are slotted. I want to know if Olamide Zaccheaus or Luke McCaffrey starting in the slot. We're all anticipating De'Ami Brown starting on the outside opposite Terry, how they're going to stack up some of the defensive edge rushers. We know, and how what we're looking like on the outside. I anticipate Michael Davis and Benjamin St. Juste are your starting cornerbacks, but I want to see the official depth chart. Everything's a spectacle in this league. So whenever things come out, we have to come on the channel and talk about it. But speaking of De'Ami Brown, by the way, I got a notification from the De'Ami Brown YouTube page going up on September 6th, the De'Ami Brown Straight Work 2024 off-season documentary. Okay. De'Ami won that job and said, y'all gonna get this shit on wax. I'm documenting that shit. He says, year 4 is coming up. In this video, you get an all-access look into my off-season training from February to July. From good to bad, I want y'all to see it all. This was definitely my biggest and toughest off-season. As the season is coming up, I hope for y'all to follow along and support me in the process. So, Commanders Nation, let's try to all be positive on De'Ami Brown. I know I've said my fair share of insults to De'Ami Brown over the years, and I know you have too, because he has 476 yards in his first 3 seasons with the team. This is a contract year for De'Ami Brown. He just earned himself a starting job. He did so in a fashion that got the first round pick from 2 years ago the fuck off the roster. So maybe a change of scenery as far as everything here is different. Maybe having a quarterback, a legit quarterback, maybe not someone he's familiar with off rip like Sam Howell, but a legit quarterback, a play caller like Cliff Kingsbury that actually has some creativity and tries to work around the players instead of making the players work around him. Maybe that was all De'Ami needed. Maybe he needed a kick in the ass and a year full of hate tweets for him to finally get his shit together. Everybody tune into the De'Ami Brown documentary. He's dropping it on September 6th. That's going to be 5 days from now. But what I got going on this week on the channel, other than the roundtable, I will be going live for Thursday Night Football through the whole Ravens-Chiefs game. I will be going live on Friday for Friday Night Football through the entire Eagles versus Packers game. And I will be doing this all day on Sunday, all day watch party. We're going through the afternoon slate. We're watching the games and we're getting all our nerves out of our system. And we're going all the way into the end of the Washington versus Tampa Bay game. And when that game concludes, we're going to get into a postseason recap as well. Got to wear myself out, but I'm ready to ramp shit up this offseason and start to take a more full-time approach on the channel. So expect endless content coming from the Rambling with Rio Robinson YouTube channel. But what else do we have to talk about? Oh, I know exactly what I want to talk about. I want to talk about these fucking numbers, because hashtag numbers matter. I want to go off on a tangent for a second. All of Washington's official final jersey numbers are set now. They're all set. And we got to talk to equipment managers, man. Sometimes as an equipment manager, you got to make an educated decision. They're not always going to put you in the best situation to make that decision yourself, but sometimes you just got to tell guys no. What Cat Williams say about Diddy?
Because P. Diddy be wanting the body, and you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no.
When certain players come up to you, equipment managers, I'm talking to you, you got to tell them no. We shouldn't be having backups wearing elite numbers here in DC. I'm about to pull up the numbers right now because we're going to go through a full jersey number breakdown for Washington's roster. We're going to see whose is great, whose is bad, whose is just right, Goldilocks style. We're going to go in number order. I'm pulling this graphic up right now. Give me just a second. All right, let's play a little jersey number roulette for the 2024 Washington Commanders. Off the bat, number 0, Mikey Sanderstill. Let's clap it up for Marcus Mariota. Let's clap it up. He was going to be the first quarterback in NFL history to wear the number 0. He had the realization, I am not a starter. Mikey is a starter. He is going to be a focal part and foundational building block to the Commanders going forward. So Marcus had the self-awareness to give Mikey Sanderstill the number 0. He went and got him a swagless number. I think he got like 18. We're going to get to him in a second. But shout out to a veteran being a veteran and knowing his place in the pecking order and the classism on the roster. Mikey Sanderstill in number 0 is absolutely fucking fire. Number 1, it is not listed here on the roster, but it was announced on Friday on the X app, Elon's app, formerly known as Twitter. Noah Igbenogany is switching to number 1, formerly worn by Jahan Dotson. A corner that is not starting nor the backup is your number 1 jersey number on the football team. Absolutely fucking not. I don't have an issue with Noah Igbenogany. He runs a 4-3. Maybe he might run back a kick or two. Maybe he may come in and spot duty and pick some shit off and take it to the crib. But that number should have been held out for a specific type of player. Like at that point, the equipment manager got to be talking to somebody saying, please come get number 1 before Noah Igbenogany rocks that shit. But I'm not going to make too much of a big deal about it because we got a lot of numbers to go through on this roster. So let's just keep going down. De'Ami Brown wins the battle for his number. Well, there wasn't really a battle for it. De'Ami, I didn't think there was conversations of him not making the roster, but they made it very known early that De'Ami is going to be not only a part of the roster, but he's going to be a big part of the offense this year. De'Ami stays in number 2. New kicker, Cade York in number 3. I hate kickers and specialists wearing single digits. I know. I feel I'm a special teams prejudice. I'm sorry, but I hate specialists wearing single digit numbers, but he's worn 3 since he's got to the league. Let him have it. I'm crossing my fingers. We never have to talk about acquiring a kicker anytime soon, since we got a 24-year-old kicker who comes out of LSU, just like Jaden Daniels did. Number 4, Frankie Louvu, single digit swagger at the linebacker position. I dig it. I think Frankie Louvu is your most anticipated commander, not named Jaden Daniels this year. Very excited about it. JD5, need I say no more? The heartbeat of the team, the soul, the young phenom, the future bona fide superstar quarterback in this league, Jaden Daniels. 5 was the only option ever. We knew he was getting it. If you didn't know, you found out. Number 6 is not listed here, but it is Dante Fowler Jr. Unless something changes, Dante Fowler Jr., he's listed as a linebacker, but he's an edge rusher for the team. I guess he's listed as a linebacker because he rushes standing up. He doesn't put his hand in the dirt, and he's only playing from a pass rush specialist, third down, I guess a linebacker type off the edge position. He's wearing number 6 for the team. Number 7, I imagine they're gonna retire Joe Theismann's number over the next couple years. Since Harris and them took over, they're doing things correctly, and they've been retiring numbers. You know, we watched Sonny get his. Dale Green's coming up on October 20th versus the Panthers. Sean Taylor, 21, got retired. 7's never going to be worn here again. They're going to stop telling equipment managers you can't issue numbers. They're just going to tell them retire the fucking number. Number 8, my bad. B-Rob. Many men wish death upon me. You know the vibes with him. Oh, and speaking of that, by the way, quick topic. Prayers up to Ricky Pearsall. Prayers in a speedy recovery. Rookie wide receiver, first round pick and former teammate of Jaden Daniels for a year at Arizona State. Ricky Pearsall was shot in the chest in an attempted robbery of his Rolex watch in California. on his way to an autograph signing today. You hate to fucking hear stories like that. He got shot in the chest. When I read that, I was terrified. They say he's in stable condition. I seen a video of him walking to the ambulance. A speedy recovery. Football should be the last thing on his mind right now. I absolutely despise stories like that. These fucking losers out here who can't work for their own, try to take away from people that are living out their dreams. You hate to see that, especially the guys out here minding their business on his way to do God's work, an autograph signing, going out, shaking hands, kissing babies, and meeting his own fans. Speedy recovery to Ricky Pearsall. I hope you're good, my boy, because I want to see him play football. He's going to be a dog. Number 9, Sonny Jurgensen, retired, never to be worn again. Number 10, Tress Way in his new digs. I like number 10 on Tress. You know, I don't like single digits on specialists, but number 10, I'll take it. Casimir Allen had to switch to some nasty number because he's not on the active roster. Oh, yeah, Casimir's in like number 36 now. Got him out here looking like midget dwarf Jerome Bettis. This shit is crazy. Number 11 is not listed here, but number 11 is going to be safety Jeremy Chin. That's a weird looking number on a free safety, on a strong safety, but he looks good in the uniform. He looks like a stacked up quarterback, but it is what it is. Number 12 is going to be the brother of Christian McCaffrey. It's not listed here either. I would have rather seen Luke in number 1 than to see fucking Noah Igbenogany, because I don't think there are many plans to get Noah Igbenogany out on that football field in 2024, but you never know how it goes in this cornerback room. But like I said, I'm going to let him live. I'm going to let him breathe. I'm going to let him go out and show to me that what we seen in years before is not going to exist going forward. Number 13, Emmanuel Forbes. You know that's his number. You've seen the iced out Cuban link bust down that he got. Olamide Zaccheaus is rocking 14. I don't see anybody in 15 right now. Jeff Driscoll 16. Captain Terry McLaurin in 17. Mariota looking like great value. Caleb Williams in number 18. Noah Igbenogany is not wearing 19. He has switched to number 1. It is not updated on the site yet. Jartavius Quan Martin is rocking number 20. I like that number for him. Derek Forrest made the roster. A lot of us thought he wasn't safe. We thought he was on the bubble. He made the final roster. He's staying in 22. No number 23 on the roster after the release of Chris Rodriguez Jr. Michael Davis in 24. You better show me something, man. When I see 24 at corner, I think of Champ Bailey. I even think of the glimpses we saw of Josh Norman when we brought him here. Josh Norman was not ass the whole time he was here. Josh Norman was a pretty good corner for a little bit here. He made some things happen. We were playing him out of position. We love to draft. We love to bring over a zone guy and make him play man, or bring over a man guy and make him play zone. Let's hope that Dan Quinn and Joe Witt continue to be what they've been their whole career and to fit their scheme around the skill sets of the players on the roster. St. Juice still a number 5. I think 26 is Jeremy McNichols. I believe they announced that Jeremy McNichols switched from 31 to 26. I'm not sure there's a 27. 28 is being retired on October 20th versus the Carolina Panthers. One of the greatest corners of all time, the fastest man to ever play in the game, Darrell Green. No number 29 that I know of. Austin Eckler in 30. That's his number. I couldn't even possibly see him in another number. Michael Walker in 32. No comment. Percy Butler still wearing nasty ass 35. I feel like he has too much speed for that number, but until he can put that speed with some awareness, maybe that is the number that suits him perfectly. New addition to the roster, Bobby Price is rocking 37. Nasty. Jeremy Reeves in 39. We already know. Tyler Owens is keeping number 40. Interesting. I seen he was talking to Serge the Shooter in the in the DMs the other day about the number. I don't like number 40, but if he like it, I'm cool with it. I just feel like he looks too swaggy. He looks too like similar to a created player to be wearing number 40 in the NFL. Colson Yankoff is going to look like a fucking tight end and number. I mean, he's going to look like a fucking fullback, number 41. Dominique Hampton, list that boy as a linebacker because a safety in number 45, nasty work. Jamin Davis is still in 52, even though he's on the edge now. Wagner, better get 54 because that's a legend. That's the best Mike Backer this league's seen in quite some time. Jordan McGee, who's starting the year on the IR, speedy recovery, my boy, 58. And linemen's numbers, we don't really have to touch on them. I don't know why they have Dante Fowler as 6B. What the fuck is I don't even know what the fuck that means. A fucking atrocity that Andrew Wiley gets to wear the 71 that Trent Williams, a future Hall of Famer in this league, is going to retire as. But I don't like that. But other than that, I'm cool with the numbers on the line. I really don't care about these numbers. The 80s. Byron Pringle as the last receiver to crack the roster. I'm cool with Byron Pringle in 83. He's channeling his inner Albert Connell. Noah Brown always wears the Ocho Cinco, the 8-5 everywhere he goes. I feel like he would look more athletic in like number 15, but hey, if 85 is your bag and it means something personal and sentimental to you, all power to you, my boy. Zach Ertz rocking his 86 as always. Bates in 87. Jean Baptiste in 90. Dorrance Armstrong rocking the same number he wore in Dallas in 92. Allen and Payne, you know the vibes. Jerzon Johnny Newton is getting the defensive tackle Washington treatment. When Jonathan Allen got here, his first year, he wore 95. When Payne got here, he wore 95. Jerzon Newton is getting the tradition passed to him as well. He's starting his career in Washington wearing 95. Phil Mathis, 98. Cleveland Farrell is taking the former number of Chase Young at 99. And like I said earlier, Luke McCaffrey is rocking 12 and Jeremy Chin is rocking 11. And that is my tangent about numbers. Let me know what you think about the numbers in the comments below. I'm a sick dude. I care about them. Hashtag numbers matter. And I'm always going to feel that way. I don't care what anybody says. Close out this episode. We got some, I'm going to put it in bunny ears news over the weekend, I think on Friday evening, from something called the Pedestrian Podcast. Apparently, Washington has signed linebacker and special teams ace, Pro Bowler Nick Bellore over the weekend. I haven't seen it reported by any of our local guys yet. I have not seen a national person reported. I haven't seen anyone from Seattle reported. Apparently, this is a Seahawks podcast from the UK. The Twitter page that posted it got about 120 followers, but this post did numbers over the weekend. It got about 100,000 plus engagements over the weekend. Apparently, this is a guy that our special teams coach goes back to because, you know, he was the special teams coach there in Seattle. That sounds like a signing that makes sense. If that's the case, whose roster spot is being taken for week 1 and beyond? And I would love to hear special teams aces come over because special teams matter too. They may not matter to me in a numbers aspect, but on a game day operation point of view, they definitely matter. I haven't seen this anywhere yet, so we're going to take this as a grain of salt, but it felt like something of note and something that I needed to add on to the end of this episode. We made it, y'all. It is NFL Christmas, and in 4 days, the Chiefs and Ravens are going to square off. The Chiefs are going to put another banner up at Arrowhead. The Eagles and the Packers, they're going to tango in Brazil. They're going to get in and get the fuck out because that sounds like a dangerous environment with all the strict rules the league is putting towards them. Glad Washington doesn't have to deal with any of that. Then Saturday, we're going to stay up all night. We're going to act like a fucking teenager the night before the first day of high school. Jerseys laid out on our beds like the first day of school. And Sunday is our time. We are back. We don't get the first crack at it. We get to watch the 1 o'clock slate. But if you're a subscriber of this channel or if you're new to this channel, come on by. I'm going to go live starting at about 12:55 afternoon. Go all the way through the 1 o'clock shift on NFL Red Zone. And we're going to go live the entire day. We're going to go live through all the games, through Washington's game. I'm going to hit in stream and I'm going to hop back on for a little 30-minute post-game raw on the channel. Raw, RAW, stands for Rambling About Washington, because that's what I do on this channel. It is Rio Robinson. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We just hit 12 not too long ago. If you're not subscribed yet, one of the better channels there is at covering the Washington Commanders. We have fun on this side. We don't take ourselves too seriously, and we're unfiltered. We try to be as objective and impartial as possible, and we have fun together as a family. I don't care who you are a fan of. You come to this channel, we're going to have a good time, but that's all I got for right now. Until next time, hail to the Washington Commanders. Commander Rio, out.
Michael Vick here at BetUS.com. Get it all. Huge bonuses, great odds, a race book, live in-game betting, and a casino. BetUS, my online sports book and casino.